Good morning, guys. It is Monday morning. You can hear my throat is a little bit on the dodgy side. I had a bit of a big weekend, but the less said about that, probably the better. It's Monday. I have a full afternoon of filming today with a client, so I am charged up, packed up, and ready to go. And I just thought I'd film a little segment because A, haven't vlogged in a little while, so here I am, I'm back. And B, I was thinking while I was charging everything, I bought, long story short, my first role that I was ever in outside of PTing when I was younger was a video production agency. So there I learned how to edit, I started doing their marketing, etc. That's how I got into the sort of marketing side of things. But while I was there, I sort of did a bit of behind the scenes filming. They didn't let me do any of the main filming, but they were like, right, when we're on shoot, if you take this camera, and I think, I forgot what they had, A7S Mark something, can't remember, it was a while ago. We're talking 11, 12 years ago. So it was quite a long time ago. And I used to film stuff and I absolutely loved it. I didn't know a lot about the cameras, but I loved it. And then from there, I sort of taught myself how to shoot video. I bought myself my first camera. I think it was a couple £100 at the time. And then sort of developed onto there. I sold that, then bought a bigger one, then sold that, then bought a better one, then sold that, etc. And right now my setup, I've probably got, I reckon, about £5,000 maybe worth of equipment. So it's not like, you know, I'm not talking big production value. I am in the next iteration. So I am thinking now about upgrading my cameras because it's about time to. But what I was thinking, sorry, I'll get to the point in a second, is that I made that investment a long time ago. And after I bought, I think, my £200 or whatever camera, I did a few shoots worth, I think they were £50 at the time, right? So that camera then made back its money and then started to make profit. From there, I put that back in and then bought another setup, and then from there, etc. And it just kept rolling. So I think my main moral of this story, and because it sort of equates to business as well, just in general, that like if you make money from what you're doing, you can start really small. So don't like buy everything. Right now I'm shooting on my phone because all of my stuff's packed up and I don't want to use all the memory, etc., especially because of shooting. So I'm just using my phone camera, and it's, you know, I'm shooting in 4K, I believe. I'll double check the settings, but I believe so. And it does the job. It does the job. Everyone's got a camera, everyone's got a phone. So if you're shooting content for your own personal brand, for YouTube, for social media, etc., for your business, you can definitely use a phone. Don't invest 10, 20k into all these beautiful new cameras, all the gimbals, all the drones, etc. if you don't have anything that's then gonna help it to make its money back. I feel like everything should be an investment, and you should always assess the risk with your investments as you would with anything. Obviously, you want to be good with risk. You want to be able to take risks, but also not be crazy and put in 10 grand and then not have any pipeline or opportunity or know how to use it or whatever. Anyway, but to go back to the point, I think this setup that I've got now and the setups that I've had previously have earned me genuinely, and this isn't just to like brag, because it's definitely not a brag, but they've earned me thousands and thousands of pounds just from this setup. So I know now that I'm ready to move on to the next setup, to make sure that everything that I'm delivering is much better. The more stuff that keeps coming in, video is everywhere at the moment, so I'm gonna like jump into that. I work with other agencies, other production companies separately if I need a full team, but in terms of like stuff that I can do, like all the talking head stuff, the podcast that we've been shooting, I've just done another one of those and that's turned out really well. My own personal stuff, all of these, this is a bit more of like an advertisement type shoot. So we're going somewhere, we've rented out a kitchen and they're going to do like a cooking bit, piece to camera and then cooking as well. So we're going to sort of figure it out when we get there. But yeah, it's just good to reflect sometimes and think back on sort of how this started. Like I say, I had no experience with cameras prior to that, and everything that I've learned has been on YouTube or different courses that I've gone on in the past, online ones, and it's just come back and really nicely. And now if someone says, can you quote me for a job, I'll actually think about, okay, how long is that going to take me? What's my hourly charge? This is it. And 9 times out of 10, they sign it off, and it's just nice to know that the investment's paid off, I guess. So hopefully this has meant something. Otherwise it's just a waste of 5 minutes of your time. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the location now. I'm gonna grab some breakfast en route because I haven't eaten yet today. And then get everything set up. So I'm going to try and get some behind the scenes, but like I say, it'll be on my phone, so I'll get what I can. I'm with a couple of assistants, so I'll see if they can help me, and then the project manager as well, so they might be able to do something. But I'll show you what I can, and I will touch base with you later because it's now the 4th of August, so we've passed our year end, our financial year end, and I just want to do once again a little bit of reflection. You can tell I'm in a reflective mood today, on how it went and sort of what's next to come for the year following. So I'll have a little sit down with you guys later properly, but yeah, I'll show you what I can from this filming. So I will see you when I get to breakfast. So that is filming done for the day. I think it went well. I was there for 4 hours-ish, so I had my breakfast. I was not there longer in total, but had my breakfast, did some work, and then started filming in the kitchen. I realised that we were using a teleprompter for some of it, and for that I used my phone, so I couldn't get a lot of background, but I tried to get what I could. I think it went well. I hope it went well. You never really know until you upload everything and then try and look at the storyboard and see if it all fits and it all works. So I'm going to go upload that in a minute. When I was having breakfast, I actually forget because obviously I missed last week and haven't done a vlog in a couple of weeks, but I had a couple of interesting calls last week from some inquiries. One of them was really interesting. I won't go into too much detail yet. Obviously, if the account moves forward, then we will, but I'm working on a proposal for them at the moment. It's actually someone that's not from the UK, they're abroad, and like I say, it's a really interesting proposition, something that I'd be so excited to get involved with, so fingers crossed that goes well, but I need to finalise that proposal tomorrow. And then send it off, and fingers crossed we win the account. But I will feed that back afterwards and just see what feedback we get from it and let you know whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, and why it was a loss, or if it was a win, what we're going to be doing, and hopefully who they are if I get approval. So yeah, all good in that instance. For the rest of the day, like I said, I'm just going to upload the footage and have a little look and then just catch up on some emails that I missed while I was filming. But as I said earlier, I wanted to just touch on, I was going to do just a full sit down of like, this is the whole year and blah, 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 and just have that as a video, but I realised that it's probably going to be a little bit boring. So I'm just going to try and highlight notes it really. But yeah, the financial year end was July for us, so end of July. It's now August, as I said earlier on, and I've sent all of my accounts off. So my accountants are doing my VAT stuff at the moment, and all of my accounts. I need to try and get that sorted over the next 2 to 3 weeks so that then we can use that against the mortgage to move into our new house, which is still going ahead, by the way. If you've been here since a while ago, you'll know that we are moving house, fingers crossed. Everything just takes a little bit slow. Anyway, I digress. The year just gone, so it was the first full year. So before I went self-employed in May or June, I think it was June actually, June 2024. So I had a couple of months, June and July in 2024, that I was fully self-employed, and they were good months. And then full year 24 to 25, from 1st of August to 31st of July, and it exceeded my expectations. I'm not very good at manifesting, I'm not very good at bringing things into life. However, I had a figure that I wanted to hit. I'm not going to say what that is, but I firmly hit it, and it's something that, a figure that I've always had in my mind historically, and it's done. So it's now a new goal. It's been a consistent year with clients. We've had some losses, but mainly wins and mainly upselling of current clients. So all in all, really positive. But I've got to use that year now as just a bit of a stepping stone really, because year 2 is going to be a really interesting one, because I was listening to a podcast the other day and it said, as an agency, you can have either periods of growth through revenue, or you can have periods of growth through hiring staff or building out, getting offices, etc., making it bigger that way. And year one for me was acquiring revenue and just seeing what this looks like and whether or not I could make sure that I could earn a living off of it, let alone getting someone else involved and being in charge of helping them pay their mortgage, helping with their holidays, their family, paying pension, like all of that sort of stuff. So I wanted to walk before I could run, and like I say, take a lot of learnings on to now year two, technically the full 2 years. And I want this year to be a growth of turnover, but it won't be a growth necessarily of profit. So my memory card ran out, so I apologise for that, but I was saying my net profit was, I believe it was around 74%, which is obviously good, which is high, and I would love it to continue like that forever, but unless it's just me in the business and I use freelancers and have it more as like me trading my services for money, then the growth sort of stops. I could probably get, I don't know, 50% growth on where I'm at the moment, but that's not where I see this going. There's a cap on that, because otherwise I'm just going to be working for the next 40 years. If I ever wanted to sell it, you're trying to sell yourself rather than a business, all of that sort of stuff. I'm not saying I know where I want to go yet, but it's not the whole me just working and getting the money for that and that be it. It's about growing and building out something that's bigger than me, to eventually either step away but have other people run it, or sell it eventually. So that's a while off, but I need to put the building blocks in place now. Next year I want my revenue to grow by a lot, so it's over double what I've written my goals down as, and it's kind of the next milestone for me. But like I say, that doesn't necessarily match profit. So where I've got 74% profit now on X amount, hopefully it's going to be a lot bigger amount, but it might be the same amount of profit that I get, because I might invest that into either a team. I'm building out an office at the new house, so they're like an outdoor office, so that's going to be a separate space, but I will be investing into that. The good news is that I'll put money towards that initially to build it out, but then I won't have that monthly addition of rental space, because that will just be part of my mortgage, which I'll pay personally rather than through the business. So it will help in that capacity, because the overheads will be less, and it will still mean that the team can work from there if they need to. So yeah, I think looking at the future, I'm really positive. It is early doors, but having 2 inquiries last week, both of which were, like I say, not from the UK, they were from abroad and completely different industries that I'm currently working with, gave me a little bit of a, okay, we can do this. So I'm now looking for more businesses to work with. I'm keeping an eye out for team members. I'm being a little bit more active on LinkedIn. I sort of started it a little bit, but then went all in on YouTube and videos and stuff like that, which I still want to do. That's still my main focus, but also LinkedIn every now and then isn't going to take away too much of my time. And just try and build it out that way, basically. I think this is also the year, and I've touched on this before, that I want to get out and meet more people, ideally get a mentor or someone that has been through some things with agency life, or built one before and sold it, or still owns it or whatever, and might be willing to help, or just any sort of business avenue really. And I want to network and meet people, not with the idea to sell or buy, but just to get connections and make friends and stuff like that, because I've got, once again, friends in my personal life, but I want to get a network of people within the business life, because otherwise it does get a little bit lonely, and day to day you're just by yourself trying to manage this whole thing and figure out as you go, which is fine, but it would be nice if I can meet up with some people and actually have a nice chat about business in general. So if that's you, let me know, give me an email or drop a comment below, but otherwise I will just be keeping an eye out. So that's the game plan. I've got a big first quarter ahead, because Q1 is going to be where I really put the foundations for the whole year in place. If I do a slow start to Q1, then it's going to be a lot harder to hit the targets. So I need to pull my finger out straight away, basically, and that is the game plan. So I will catch up with you now, probably tomorrow. I'm going to be going to the Apple shop at some time this week because I am going to either be upgrading my MacBook or getting an iPad, but I want to talk to see what would be the best solution for me at the moment. So I might as well take you along and explain the choice that I've made, because I'll be making one of those choices. And that's about it. So yeah, have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy Thursday. Things have not gone to plan this week. I'm like sweating. I'm like bright red. I've just come off of a very interesting call. I will fill you in more on that, hopefully, if things go well. But they look to be, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it would be an amazing opportunity. And yeah, so I will touch base with you on that probably in the next vlog, because I'll probably hear over the next couple of days, and I'm aiming to get this up over the next couple of days. But if it comes in, then I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm used to, I think ever since starting the business, I'm so used to weeks not going as you planned. As you know, I said about going to Apple to look at a new laptop or an iPad. I've got in touch with the business team because we've got a business account with them, and I booked in now for Monday, because if I've got it booked in, I'll go. If I don't, then it just becomes a bit of a shambles. So I'm going to go in on Monday, but they've said basically, I've got this laptop, and I've had it like for, what we in 2025, I've had it for 7 years. It's a MacBook Pro, 7 years, but it was like top end MacBook Pro in 2018 when I got it, and it's been a workhorse and it's done everything great. I still edit on it. It's like can handle quite a bit, to be fair. So they've said that they're going to take it apart, test it, clean it, make sure that everything's okay, and get it to really good space again, because the storage on it is a little bit dodgy, blah blah blah. I've said to them I either want to upgrade or get an iPad, and they've sort of gone away from the upgrade and are leaning more towards the iPad, which I find interesting, because I would have gone for, obviously we don't know yet, but I would have gone for the newer MacBook Pro, like the fully spec'd one, because once again I need it just because I'm on the computer all the time and editing and just everything. Anyway, rambling as per usual. I'm going to cut this clip, but I just wanted to check in because it's literally almost the end of the week, and I think the last time I spoke to you was on Monday, which is no good. It's no good. This vlogging life is just not for me, but I'm going to get it for me, because I spent yesterday going through my plan, my strategy for moving forward towards like the end of the year, towards Q4, and it's a big one, and a lot of it takes a lot of time, and it's a lot of commitment, and it gets involvement from other members of the team, but it means that we can really start to grow everything as effectively as possible from a social climate perspective, and make everything look great, and actually have a bit more of a defined strategy behind it. So yeah, I'm super excited to get that in the works. I'm super excited about this potential opportunity, and yeah, I will catch up with you tomorrow. I will film another segment tomorrow, whether that will just be a goodbye, whether that will be whatever, I don't know, but I will catch you tomorrow. Hey guys, as promised, I am jumping on here to bid you farewell for the vlog. I've put the clips together already into my project, and I've seen how much that I've spoken in this vlog in general, and it's just at multiple places within the house. So I'm hoping that some of it's interesting, but please bear with me. My intentions for next week, I'm vowed to myself, I'm going to get back into running. I'll explain next week about how the marathon basically made me lose a lot of my love for running, but I loved it so much. It's summertime, it's the perfect time to do it, so I need to get back out there. So that's one of my intentions for next week, to do at least 2 runs. And I'm also going to try and work from somewhere else next week, just get out, not just be by myself the whole time in my little office. Get out, go work at a coffee shop or something, just mix up my surroundings a little bit. So they're my intentions. Let's see if I stick to it. But I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will catch up with you on Monday. I've got a meeting straight off the bat, so probably maybe get a bit of that depending on how it goes. It's with a current client, so see what the conversation's about, and if it's interesting, I'll include it. And then we're off to the Apple shop straight after that. So I will see you first thing on Monday morning. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.